The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Butcher's Bible Podcast. I'm your host, Ant.
And I'm Luke.
We're two blokes preaching a good word of the meat industry.
One episode at a time.
Awesome. We have a fantastic guest with us today. We have the one, we have the only, we have Dan Adami?
Adami.
And it just that tongue twister. Daniel, do I go for it? Adami? Ah, fuck it. It's not an intro with that fuck up.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're good. How's things with you?
Yeah, going good. Keeping sort of nice and busy. We're busy past few weeks with the good weather that was here. It's all now kind of fucked off. But we're doing really well. We got just keeping really busy. Really, it's good people coming in, good team of guys working around us. So yeah, we're doing really well. We're
Brilliant.
Yeah, good. Tired, but good. But you know,
I know.
good.
Aren't we all, mate? If you want
That's
to
what
take
beer's
this,
for.
take this moment to plug or promote anything, Dan Adami.
Fuck. Where do we begin? Do you want to go Stoke right from the beginning, or?
Oh yeah, it was 1974.
Jeez.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Right. So I left sixth form in college around about, how old was I? About 18, 19, and didn't really know what I wanted to do. I'd gone from sixth form, not really planning anything and winging it, to then going and studying aeronautical engineering. Don't know why.
Wow.
I think literally a mate's dad had gone, that's really cool. And I went, fuck it, I'll do that.
The
Did that for a year.
aeronautical.
Aeronautical engineering, yeah. I went and did work experience up at Heathrow and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is really fun. And then they were like, oh, and this is all the paperwork you have to do. And it's like huge booklets. And I was like, maybe not. So I went back home and I was like, I don't want to be an aeronautical engineer anymore. And then my mum and dad were like, well, you're not fucking sitting around here. And I actually went and got a job at Longleat Safari Park.
Cool.
And applied for it on a complete whim, not expecting to get it. And then they called me up for an interview and they're like, oh, yeah, we've got an opening in the lion section. So I went for 3 years looking after lions, tigers and wolves, which was pretty cool. That's why I really first started chopping up meat, immediately with an axe and a chainsaw.
That's so sick.
It's pretty cool. It makes a really good kind of like, oh, what did you do? It's like, oh, I did this. And they're like, what? And you'd be like, oh, here's a picture of me with a lion cub. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's pretty sick. But did that for like 3 and a bit years. And then kind of was like, I need to have an actual proper career. And literally saw a tiny little ad in a local newspaper back home. And just basically advertising for a butcher. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's have a go. And I went in and spoke to a bloke. And I thought I completely fluffed it because he was like, oh, well, I'll call you. And it's like, oh, that's like the kiss of death. You know, in any interview, it's like, let us call you. And then he left me a message about a month later. And he was like, you've got the job if you want it. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, so I handed him a notice. Yeah. Wow. And like he... and that's me. It was completely out of the blue. I was like, what the fuck's he left me a message? And he went in and I was like, I need this here. And I was like, cool. Right. When can you start? It's like, well, I need to hand in some notice there. So it turned out my first week being a butcher was Christmas week.
Oh.
And it was literally like running around baptism of fire. And then, he was like, then literally on Christmas Eve, he was like, you really impressed me this week. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, you the job's yours. And I was like, cool. So literally, and then just started working in a back room, making burgers and sausages. Did a little bit of breaking down of carcasses here and there, but nothing major.
How old were you at this point?
I was 21.
Okay, right.
So I come to it a little bit later. I hadn't really gone straight into it because I obviously tried to be an aeronautical engineer, which didn't work.
And then a line tamer.
And then a line tamer. And then I just sort of went into that and picked it up pretty quickly. I'd done like odd bits of butchery here and there. I helped a friend of the family out doing like hog roasts and stuff like that for his butcher's shop, like when I was 16, 17. And started doing it. Worked at the first shop for about 2.5 to 8 years, and then moved on to another one. And that was back to the guy who I'd done the hog roast for, and he literally just called me up and was like, "This guy's leaving. Do you want a job?" And I was like, "Let me come over and have a chat." And he was like, "Well, yeah, the job's yours if you want it." I was like, "Do you want me to do a block test?" And he was like, "No, you can have the job." And I was like, "Oh, blimey, right, okay." And went there about 6 weeks later and started up. So did about another 2 years there. And then my family had moved up to Surrey and, back to Surrey, sorry. And they said, "Oh, there's a new butcher shop opened in Dorking. It looks really cool." And they were like, you should go in and look. And I was like, "Well, yeah, I might. And just happened to be in Dorking and I walked past it and I was like, "Yeah, this place looks pretty cool." And I thought, well, fuck it. And just went in. I was like, "The owner's about." And they're like, "They're down in the basement. Do you want to go speak to them?" So I had sort of had a semi-job interview in a basement, which was quite funny. And it was. There was this leather sofa and a camcorder and all kinds of stuff. But we won't talk about that. But no, we just got chatting and they were like, "Oh, well, we've literally just offered a job to a guy." And I was like, "Oh, all right, well, there's my card. Give me a call if it pops up." And then, like 2 weeks later, one of the owners called me up. He's like, "Any chance you can pop in?" And I was like, yeah, I've got a day off. And he was like, "Well, yeah, it didn't work out. So, come in and did a block test and been with those guys ever since." That was 2017. And so
it's a smart shop. The Dorking shop is a smart shop. I popped in a couple of times.
They opened up, I think 2016, so I got there about 18 months later. And it was really nice to work in a shop with a lot of younger people. I think the oldest guy was only 4 years older than me. So we're all on the same vibe. We all enjoy what we do and we're all really passionate about it. So we're working there. And then they just signed on a second shop over in Guildford.
Yeah.
Then literally 3 weeks later, that was March 2020. So they literally just signed on it and then COVID hit and fucked everything up. So we're like, right, let's just put that on hold for a little bit. And we concentrated on the Dorking shop. Overnight, we turned a retail shop into an online shop and came in and then just started doing it that way for a couple of months whilst that was all going on. Then we reopened, and as soon as we could, we got the Guildford shop up and running, and that's been going. It actually had its 4th birthday yesterday.
It was. Yeah.
I put it all out. Yeah, I got it a few days ago. But yeah, we just had our 4th birthday, and
how's it going? Is it building up like the Dorking shop?
To be honest, it's going really well considering we've only been there for 4 years. But it's a whole different dynamic because Dorking shop's right on the high street, whereas Guildford's in like a residential area. So we're a bit more of a destination shop. And Gary and Alex are 2 guys who own it. You might have met them at some point. You popped in, but they picked it perfectly, and it's just going from strength to strength. Well, last year we won London and South East Butcher of the Year, which was quite good. Our apprentice Cam, he won Young Butcher of the Year, which was really good for him. And then he won that, and he's like, "Cool, I'm going to go travelling for a year." So he's in Australia at the moment, and
Yeah, nice.
bumming around. But he did go down to Tasmania for some reason. I don't know why, but he was bumming around there. And yeah, he's doing really all right. But then we're just in the process of then opening another shop over in Horsham. Hopefully, in the next. Well, it's setting up now, so hopefully that'll be open.
Are you guys advertising? Because I've seen something about the Horsham Butchery. Is that going to be you guys?
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, so
Right, okay.
they're opening that just off the main strip in Horsham, but that'll be open mid to late Augusty time.
That's just down the road from you and Leighton, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
pretty
too far
cool.
from me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You're popping up and you're actually using the name of the places where you are is sort of
We're really original with our naming. Dorking Butchery, Guildford Butchery, Horsham Butchery. So, and it's
use names of cuts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but you guys are actually using the name of the place, which is quite
which is going quite well. And we've got like a bit of a brand identity as well. You've probably seen it in the photos. We've got the flat hat caps, the braces, the ties, white shirts. So
very smart.
When we were in Dorking in the early days, you just used to be like, "Oh, do you want to go for a pint?" And you look in the pub and you see 4 geezers all dressed up like the Peaky Blinders by the bar, and everyone, and like you see people walking around town, and you just go, "Oh yeah, he's one of the butchers." And it's quite nice, and we all get on with everyone in the town, so that goes really well. And it's the best place I've ever worked, and I love working for him and managing. You know, I started out there as a butcher, and now worked my way up to managing the Guildford shop. And, I love it. We've got a good team behind me. We all get on. We have a good laugh. Funny enough, today we managed to make we got a Saturday boy who, bless him, he's a special little sausage. And we were making some sausages today. We did chicken, maple, and jalapeno. And we blitzed up all the jalapenos with just a bit of the water to get the flavour in. And he came out and he's like, "What's that?" I went, "Kale juice." "Oh, can I try a bit?" And he went, and we're like, "Yeah, all right." So he took a spoonful and he put it in his mouth. And he was then stood under the tap, drinking cold water direct tap the tap because he was like,
Gotcha.
You're a horrible man.
We are.
Fuck Kale.
That's pretty much the last 12 odd years in about 12 minutes.
It's brilliant.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But I got into it, and I started off, like I said, at the first shop. It was a very like old school butchery. You know, this is the way we do things. Like, no, you trimmed out racks of lamb and didn't really clean the bone, and it was all sort of done and just chucked in a counter. There wasn't any greenery or anything in the counter. And then as I've sort of progressed, I was like, "Oh yeah, I can be a bit more fancy this." And now you've probably seen the photos on the Instagram, on Instagram and whatnot.
I was going to mention, I've been a fan of yours because you're super clean and crisp, sort of. Just
we all sort of, you know, we look at it so much now. It's like, if it looks good, people will buy it. If it looks like crap, people just go, "Oh, well, they don't really care." You know, we all take that extra few minutes to make it look good, and then it gets people interested and it gets people coming back.
What's your demographic like in the Dorking shop where you originally
in the Dorking shop? Dorking's actually quite like a foodie town, which is quite good. So probably I'd say it's about 50-50. Well, do I know? I'd say about 40% older people. I'd say like 60 plus. So
I was going to say, my dad and his partner lived there, and she used to shop there, so that's very accurate.
Oh, really?
Shit, nail on the head.
And then it's probably about 30 younger, sort of 40s, and then quite a few younger sort of people come in, like quite a few young professionals. And it is, like I said, it's a good town because a lot of people are interested in food, and when they opened that shop, I think Dorking had been about 2-3 years without a butcher. So people were like hungry for it. I think when the first day they opened, they sold out of like everything. And I remember Alex, one of the owners, he was like, I was there like cutting meat until like 11 o'clock at night just to get stuff ready for the next day because we just didn't have anything. So so the demographic works quite well. Same in Guildford, actually. You get a lot of younger people coming in, a lot of young families at Guildford. It's quite nice because you see people who came in like those first few weeks when we opened, like, oh, here I brought my baby with me, and now like you see this kid and it's like, damn, has it really been like 4 years? And now they're like running around and like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, you're so glad you had kids because they're mental.
Licking the counters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, licking the windows. You watch them go. You just cleaned it, and then you just watch this kid be like, that tastes like window lean. But yeah, and yeah, we like I said, we're all really passionate about what we do. We all love it. Really, we all have a good laugh.
Yeah, mate.
And we're all quite good into cooking as well. Like we've got several guys who work for us who've got chefing backgrounds. So it's quite good, like transferable skills. And when they come in, I don't know, do you guys find it like people come in and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll have this, that, and then they go, how'd you cook it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, okay, let me tell you. And they're like, oh, okay, brilliant. And then like you get some people come in and they say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, and you're like, really? I think we had one story. A guy came in, he's like, oh, I had a nice bit of brisket off you guys. I cooked it in a Magimix cooker, and we were just like, what?
Chewing on it.
Yeah. I was like, I put it in there for like 40 minutes, and I was like, oh, don't just come and sit down. And we just talk to you. And,
we can suggest something. I think, Ant, what was it you said? You said you had a couple of old ladies who would come in week on week asking for legs of lamb and ask how to cook it every time.
Yeah.
You know how?
It's the same conversation we had last month and the month before, Doris. Like,
it's just like Groundhog Day sometimes, isn't it? They come in, oh, what sausage do you have? This one, and this one. Okay. I'll just have plain pork. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. I don't like flavour.
Yeah. Is the Cumberland spicy?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
No, they're the people that find toothpaste.
I'm still really concerned. 40 minutes on a brisket. Was it thick end or was it center cut?
Oh, I have no idea.
How chewy was it? How did he eat that?
But it's like he just sort of said he was just like completely deadpan, and it's like, are you okay? Is there
need a hug?
You're not. Yeah. Do you need a hug? Do you sit down? And then you get like other people come in, and you're just like, and it's really nice when people come in and they go, oh yeah, I cooked it just the way you told me, and it was perfect. And we're like, yeah, because we know what we're on about. And then they come in and it's like we really do. I love working with all the dry aged steak at the shops, and when people come in, we started doing about a year ago. We started doing dry aged sirloins on the bone, selling them as cowboy steaks. And people come in and they're like, oh yeah, how do I cook that? It's like reverse sear it 12 minutes in a hot oven and then just pan fry it. Oh, that doesn't sound like enough. They go, trust me, it's fine. And then they come in the following week and they're like, that's the best bit of steak I've ever had.
Oh yeah.
Like it's banging. And like the dry, like we've really built at both shops a really good sort of business in dry aging. Like a lot of people had never really heard of it about 10 years ago. And now it's like the cool thing to have. And we've got 3 dry ages on the go at the moment in the shops.
Yeah.
One, nice. 2 at Dorking and 1 at Guildford.
The uprights.
The like big upright ones. And it's such a nice bit of meat to work with.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. It's good.
What sort of sausages do you run? Are they specific for the individual shops, or do you kind of have the same?
So we've got a couple of sort of staples that we do. Your standard sort of plain pork, a Cumberland style. We do a gluten-free Cumberland as well, which is just no rusk in it whatsoever. So it's just 100% meat, and so it's like a really nice, good textured sausage.
The spicy.
We do one spicy. We do another one with nutmeg and parsley. So they're like our basics that we do. And then every week, we do a couple of specials, depending on like how busy it is, what we got knocking around. We sort of throw some stuff together. We've done some proper booky ones in the past. We called them Tijuana turkeys, and it was turkey, jalapeno, lime, and then we put a bottle of tequila in it.
Oh yeah,
that was really good.
The drunken
and
turkey.
then one guy, oh man, you just got that warmth of the tequila at the end. It was lovely. We did. There was a new Mexican place that opened in Guildford, and they did a caramel beef burrito. So we were like, okay, fuck it, let's chuck that in a sausage. So one of our guys, he made up a caramel. We let it cool down. We soaked all the beef in it, chucked in all the spices. That was banging. We did a smoky mac and cheese last week. Cooked up macaroni and chucked that through the sausage. Today, the guys, they've done a smoky chili maple chicken. It's proper. Some days we plan it within an inch of its life, and then it's like other days you're like, fuck it, let's wing it. We've got a really good greengrocers next door, so we chuck in lots of fresh herbs, all kinds of stuff in there. Cheese and Marmite, that's one that everyone always seems to come back to.
That's a regular. That's a staple in the summertime, isn't it? And then every so often you drag them out in the winter.
What else we got? Do you guys remember Hofmeister beer?
Yes.
Ring a bell? The fine beer. So funny enough, one of the guy who owns that is one of our customers. And,
that's cool.
He bought it a few years ago and rebranded and everything, and so we got a good relationship with him. So we came up with the Hofmeister sausage. So it's like a beer braised onions with the Hofmeister beer, pork, all kinds of loads of herbs and stuff go in, and then we do them to like a big sort of bratwurst jumbo.
Nice.
And banging every time we do those, they sell out. But yeah, we get some weird ones. I had a lady come in the other day, and she was like, "Oh, can you make me some sausages?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." You know what? Oh, I'm on the carnivore diet.
Classic.
It's just like we're like, "Oh, brilliant." And I was like, "Can you do me a sausage with lamb and beef?" And I was like, "Yeah, I reckon we can chuck some herbs in there." No, just lamb and beef. And I was like,
just straight up,
literally just minced lamb and beef. And I was like, that's not going to make a very nice sausage. She was like, I know, but it's all I can eat. And I was like, okay, yeah, fine, yeah, just put that through, and it's just literally minced lamb and minced beef and a sausage.
I think you're allowed salt and pepper.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No. She was like, no, don't want any of that. And I was like, cool, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, fine.
Salt's for the rehydration. The whole reason why people do carnivore is you drink water, have salt and lamb and beef and pork and all that, and you have the salt with everything to hydrate yourself.
Oh yeah, what do you guys find? Do you get a lot of people come in doing the carnivore, or
it's got worse in the last year or so?
Yeah,
give it another year and it'll pass, wouldn't it?
I'd say it's got worse. I mean, like, there's more people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
There's more people trying to educate you on it, where they're just so blinded by other bits that they've either twisted or heard from or haven't done their research or whatever. Where salt,
is it becoming the new vegan?
That's what I'm saying. It's almost becoming that trend now, where you're just like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it goes another one.
Yeah. But
they've always got to tell you it's like, oh, I'm on the carnivore diet.
All right, vegan, calm down.
Yeah, there it is.
Cool.
The extremists.
Yeah. I
you get people. Do you find you get people that they do one thing? So like, I'll only have mince. That's all I'm eating. I'm just cooking mince. I'm eating that. And then you get other people who's like, I'm going to have 6 ribeyes. I'll have a tomahawk. I'll chuck in a couple of T-bones. And then it's just like, it's the two alternate ends of like, this one sounds fun. This one sounds boring as shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
I used to have a guy come in and he'd be like, I just eat burgers, straight burgers, which are like beef and salt. And what was it? I think he like literally had a stick of butter that he ate with it.
Good man.
Just in a burger, man.
Yeah, and he worked in the city. So he would just go into London with a lunchbox full of beef burgers and sticks of butter. Imagine that. What's for your lunch, Dave?
Butter.
Beef and butter again. It's like, oh,
just being sat next to geezer on the tube. It's like, it's all like, fucking utterly buttery.
Yeah.
Like, just sat there like, chewing on a stick of butter.
Just one of those guys like, I think you'll find it's 100% organic grass-fed butter. Like, yeah.
raw.
Get it? That's good. That's probably the best for you, but eating it by the kilo is not. It's not what I want right now.
Brilliant.
Good guy.
Not at 8. Not at 8 in the morning on the tube.
Yeah.
Just what you want.
Yeah. He's like also doubles as a sun cream. It's like, oh, yeah. They do that.
Rare.
Yeah, they do that. They do like the tallow and stuff, don't they? Which I get, but you all smell like roast potatoes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, someone just walks past, just throws some couple of sprigs of rosemary on you, and it's like 20 minutes later you'll be done.
And it sticks.
Hang on, did you say people are fucking instead of using sunscreen, they're using butter to oil themselves?
No, tallow. Was then like rendered beef fat because it's got. They're mixing it with coconut oil, which has some form of SPF. Which is pretty
good. Beef tallow, it kind of level it back out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then is that was it the Fat Cow? Were you saying Fat Cow? Is that the company?
I think so. I've had a few of their ads on Instagram.
Or is it tallow skin or something like? Or
I mean, it's great for your skin, but again, you have to render it about 1 million times for it to not smell.
But then you just smell delicious. Like, and I agree with Dan. Throw some rosemary on me, baby. Hit me with
that.
Yeah.
Got back to me in 20 minutes.
No. I'm on the carnivore. No salt, pepper, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you have any awesome burgers that you make, or are you a straight beef and salt kind of place?
So we do like a regular little quarter pounder, just chuck steak, salt and pepper. We do in the early days they jazz out like we want to do like a really nice burger. So we take all of our dry steak trimmings, anything we cut off the ribs or the sirloins or the rumps. We keep all those nice little sort of crusty bits, mix it with brisket and short rib, and then we just for good measure we chuck in a load of bone marrow.
Nice.
Get in the bone marrow boats, and then we just mince it through with sea salt and black pepper. We did originally. We did put beef dripping in there as well, and then we sort of came back from that because you put them on the barbecue and it just go.
Yeah.
So we got rid of that. Oh, where they gone? We just put just a bone marrow in there, and mate, they're absolutely banging. We sent them off to Great Taste, and they came back and they got a 2-star Great Taste award.
Not bad,
which
not bad.
Is pretty good. So, but yeah, we sell. Oh, mate, in the summer you're selling like 50 to 60 kilos of those in about 3 days. And then from like time to time, what we do is we don't press them out. We roll them out into like a massive sausage and slice them through. So you can end up getting a burger that's like 2 inches thick, and mate, it's absolutely banging. We from time to time we do like a special one. We did one a few weeks ago. We got in a really nice body of Dexter beef from an older guy. We did like a bit of like a Dexter showcase. So we did all the roasting joints. We did tomahawks, cowboys, T-bones, everything off it. And we took all the trimmings and we made like a sort of like a smokehouse burger. So it had fresh jalapenos, aged smoked red Leicester cheese, sea salt, black pepper, cumin, paprika, pretty much every orange seasoning you could put in there. And again, with bone marrow and rib cap in there, it's absolutely banging. So good. Feel like not healthy at all, but so good.
Yeah. Can we touch back on the? I've seen this before, but the getting the big mince sausage out to make the burgers.
Yeah.
Do you do that in short lengths? And so all the fibers of the mince are coming out horizontally, I'm assuming.
Yes. Well, no. What we do is we run it all through the mince at once on like I think it's a 3mm plate, so it's quite a small plate.
Yeah.
Just once, give it all a bit of a mix, just to incorporate all the bone marrow and stuff into it, and then weigh it out into about 2.5 kilo lumps, and we put it on an overwrap, and you're just set there like rolling it into like a big sausage wrapped up in cling film. Yeah. And then so it holds it all in there, and then you slice it through, and you just get like a really nice cross section of meat and fat. occasionally you get like a nice big lump of bone marrow in there as well. Yeah, they're really cool, really tasty.
But it's minced twice.
But that's like, no, it's just once.
Just once.
Right.
Just once on the really fine plate.
Yeah.
We tested it out on like 3 or 4 different size plates, and we found out the fine plate was the best one.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, we that's like every week we've got those. Right, rain, wind, sunshine, snow. We've always got them. And
I can imagine you can whiz them out pretty fast, can't you? Because you're not there.
Yeah, you can do them pretty quick. They're always better if they're always better if they're like set up for a day or two, just so it's all like nice, solid. But
bound together.
Yeah, that's it. But I think the other week when we had that really hot spell, we did 20 kilo one day, and then it got to about 11 o'clock the next morning, and we're like, guys, can you run some more through? Why? Because we've only got one roll left. Okay, did like another 15. We're like, yeah, that'd be enough. That'd be enough. Saturday morning at about 10 o'clock, I was like, yeah, can we make some more burgers, please? Like we sold all of them, and like you'll get people come in and they'll be like, they're amazing. Yeah, 10 of those. I'll take 12, 15. We had one guy. He was like, I don't think he was on a carnivore diet. I think he just loved meat, and he came in. He's like, can you do me some of those plastic burgers, like the bone marrow burgers? Yeah. What do you want? 2, 3? Can you do me 30?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you having a party? No. He was like, no, they're just for me.
Yeah,
I was like,
nice.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Give me 10 minutes, and fucking slicing all of these burgers through and packing them up.
Do you have a standard size?
Yeah, mate.
Thickness that you do.
About
2 fingers width, almost.
how much? Yeah, 2 fingers. Well, it varies. Because you can have them quite thin, you can have them really fat, but generally it's about a thumb's width. And
how much do they run for then?
It's so nice.
Because if you haven't got it as like a set standard,
well, we do them per kilo. We don't do them each. So I think they go out at about £20 a kilo.
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Especially with all your other bits in it.
Yeah. Once you add in all those bits, and you sort of cost out, and we get it uses up all of the obviously the dry age trim. So, and it just adds all that dry age trim just adds that really nice beefy flavour. Like
Depth gives it that depth and everything that you deserve.
Do you ever get people buying the rolls themselves? I was like, I'll take a burger log, thanks.
Burger log.
Yeah, literally someone would be like, yes, you get. It's normally blokes on a Saturday like, yeah, I'm having a barbecue. Yeah, I've got this. And they're like, oh, I'll just take the roll. And you're like, cool, yep, no problem. There you go. Easy as that.
And how much is a roll, like weight-wise?
About 2.5 kilo.
Oh, yeah.
2.5, 3 kilo. It really depends who's like rolling it up. Sometimes they're like 3 kilos. Sometimes where we had a guy, an apprentice who was like, he had really small hands, so we couldn't roll them up properly. So all of his ones were like the size of sausage rolls, and it's like
old baby hands. Yeah,
old baby hands.
These would be the quarter pounders.
Yeah.
But we did some. We take that sort of model, and we did before again when we've had Dexter. We did Dexter sliders.
Nice.
So they were like they're probably about the size of about 2 inches across, and just cut them really thin little burgers, and again put like all the fresh chilies and all of that stuff in it, and oh mate, bang, it's making me want one now.
Just Dexter beef in general, it's just got a great profile of flavour, and it's just like this deserves everything.
We've got the farmer we use, he's just down the road near you actually, I think, near Storrington Way. And he's a friend. I've known him for a few years, and I was like, "Oh, you've got Dexter's, haven't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want to sell some to us?" And so we get him a few times a year, and it's always spectacular. He's got some at the moment. The next one that we've got is a Dexter Cross Sussex.
Nice.
So it's like a little bit bigger. So it's got like he's still got the really nice and fat covering it. The fat is like buttercup yellow, gorgeous, and he's crossed it with a Sussex bull. So it'd be interesting to see we've got a steer coming in August. So it'd be interesting to see what that looks like. Plus, because they're nice and small, you don't kill yourself when you're carrying them around.
Yeah, very much so. Do you get most of your produce local to you? You try to at least.
We try and get it as local as we. We try to get it within about 20 to 30 miles.
Yeah.
We got pigs coming. We got some Iron Age pigs coming from a guy just literally about 4 or 5 miles down the road. Chickens we source locally from a little poultry farm up near Leaf Hill. And then beef, we've got various farmers just dotted around. One of sort of my roles in the company is through my family's quite well known in farming around Surrey. So everyone knows them in some form. So I've by default picked up contacts who, beef farmers and whatnot. And you're calling, oh yeah, you're so-and-so's nephew. Yep, cool. And you sort of build up all those relationships. So we've got a few that we sort of just operate on a bit of a rotation. So we've got the Dexters. We've just, this year we've been getting Longhorns from a farm just the other side of Reigate, a lovely little farm. Hallyloo Longhorns, they're part of the Pasture for Life program.
Cool.
And we've been getting those for about a year. And I organised a farm visit for all the guys to come up and visit and see the farm, because quite a few of them actually hadn't had a chance to come out. We got to ride around in the back of a pickup, which was quite fun.
Nice.
I've got a video on my phone somewhere, and it's J-Car apprentice, and you're going up this farm track. And his hand is on another guy's leg, and his knuckles are like white, holding on. I was like, "Are you all right, mate?" He's like, so that was a good laugh. But it's nice to get those guys out to go see farms. We've got, funny enough, another guy who worked for my uncle. He had a herd of pedigree Gloucester Old Spots, which, funnily enough, were my aunt's dad. Used to be head of the Gloucester Old Spot Association.
Wow.
And so he had a herd of pedigree Gloucester Old Spots. He retired from doing that and sold them to this guy. And I was like, do you want to sell them to us? And they were literally 5 miles down the road in Ockley. So we went, we saw them, and mate, we just have so much fun, like going out and seeing all these things. And it's like we went when we went and saw the Longhorns. They showed us the herd. It's like, yeah, these are the ones that they're going to be going this year. And I stood there with Babs the farmer, and she was like, "Oh, one of these guys is going to be going to you this week." And I just shouted to the guys, "It's like, pick one." Jake goes, "Oh, I really like that one there." I mean, all right, Babs, we'll have that one. And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that one's coming to the shop next week." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
That's my favourite one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all love going out and about, and
It's good, isn't it?
getting out and seeing people, and it's good for the guys to go and visit the farms, because then when they chat to the customers about it, they've got the experience of going, "Oh yeah, we went here, we saw what he does, this, that, and the other," and it expands their knowledge so that they can then pass it on to the customers, which is quite good.
It's all about that education, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get like people are a lot more interested in what and where their meat comes from nowadays.
Yeah.
Particularly like in the last 10 years, people aren't too bothered so much about the price of it, but oh, did he live a good life? Is it this? Is it that? And it's here. And if you treat the animals with respect and look after the final end product, then it gets passed on to the customer.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately what we want, because then we want those people to then come back. So.
Oh yeah. I guess you see the farmer's passion, you get a passion for it, and then you pass it on to the customer. And I always say that it's like education and communication is the key to actually building something that's worth something.
Yeah, build it on a false narrative. It just doesn't lead anywhere, because then you got to keep up with the bullshit where you've seen it,
Oh yeah,
you know it.
We've all worked for Delo Wretch tubs that are like, "Oh yeah, it's from just down the road." It's like, well, yeah, but that box says Dutch on it, and it's
locally
like,
sourced.
Locally sourced. Well, the van was local, and I worked for one guy once, and he used to get a big delivery beginning of the week, and I was like, oh, what are these? He goes, oh, the beef fillets. I opened them up, and they weren't even a foot long. And I was like, where'd you get these? He goes, oh, they were on a special. I was like, okay. It says Brazil on the box. He was like, well, yeah, they're on a special. And I was like, they're like the size of pork fillets. And he's like, we sell those as Dexter fillets. And you're just like, yeah, and like you can only
piece of shit
deal with like the bullshit for so long, and you sort of end up going, I don't feel comfortable saying this to the customer because I know what I'm telling Porky Pies. It's like, but
we've all been there,
and that is me. We've all worked for pirates.
100%. I want to touch onto your knife restoration.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
How did you get into that? Was it just purely based upon
give Luke a step by step because he's coming into it?
To make your own.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. It's like, what? Yeah, that looked really cool, mate. How did I get into it? It's going to make me sound like a serial killer, but I've always been interested in knives since I was a kid.
You're in good company, mate.
I thought you were going to say a pirate. Oh, man.
Cool. This is a safe zone.
I think you'd be like, I used to love skinning cats.
Yeah,
I'm not a serial killer.
I'm not a serial killer. I'm just an enthusiast. We, grew up doing sort of a lot of shooting and stuff with my dad, like shooting pheasants and stuff. So I got used to using a knife at a young age, taking the breasts off and all that kind of stuff. Went through scouts, learned to use a knife properly. And then just sort of carried on from that. And then during COVID 2020, when all you could do was sit at home and watch TV, I started watching Forged in Fire on Prime.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it pretty much went from there. And I was like, yeah, I reckon I can do that. I have it. I've yet to make an actual knife, but I've restored a few. And just kind of a lot of the time, it's just like, fuck it, I'll have a go at that. And I had, you probably saw it on my Instagram, I redid my cleaver, and that took about 2 days to do. I popped off the handle because it all started to fall apart, and got some brass strips, put some walnut and put some mosaic pins in it, and just sort of went from there. And I've done a few here. I bought knife blanks and done nice. I quite like doing the handles on them. Because you can kind of just sort of play around with it and go, oh, let's try this, let's try that. I've done a few that worked. I've done a few that really didn't. I think the first one I ever did, I literally just super glued on the handle.
And
I was like, yeah, that looks really cool. And I remember I was cutting something, and then it just literally like disintegrated in my hand. And I was like, oh, okay, right, that doesn't work. What else can I do? And I've done a few here and there. I did quite a few beginning of the year when we had a little break after Christmas. We got a local deer stalker who gets us all. He gets quite a lot of fallow and a few roe for us. And I'd said to him about it, and he was like, he came to me, he's like, oh, I need to get a birthday present for a friend of mine. Can you do a knife? And I went, oh, well, I've actually got this one. And he went, yeah, cool, whatever. And I was like, do you want anything specific? And he went, no, just sort of wing it. And I did like a quite cool stacked handle with a bit of, what was it? Some bog oak, a deer antler, and a few other bits.
That's cool.
And
nice.
again, it just kind of stuck it all together, and then just took it to the sander. And I was like, cool, this works. Inhaled a lot of dust doing it. And then I learned to wear a face mask. But
mask,
like, you go home and it's like, and you go like this, and there's a big line on your forehead, and like you sneeze and dust bogies come out. But I started doing that, and it's quite good fun. It's quite good for your mental health as well, to kind of concentrate on something and almost zone out all the shit going on elsewhere. You know, put on some headphones and just go in the workshop for like 3 or 4 hours.
I get that.
And it's nice, and it's helped me out. You know, mental health's one of those things not everyone wants to talk about it, but everyone's got it. So
you need to. Me and Ant have been huge advocates in the last few months to actually like express ourselves about it. This is what one of these things. What this kind of spurred us on to get it out quicker than it was going to be planned. You know.
Like so many people don't like talking about it because they think, oh no, it's not your problem. But everyone in some way has had a problem, no matter if it's a small one or like a massive one. And you will just talking about it really helps. Just doing something to sort of cope with it.
Is that how you channel what's going on with you? Is that through the knife restoration?
A little bit. Like, it's just nice to sort of, like I said, it's just zone out and not have to deal with, not necessarily like pushing it to one side, but you're like, this makes me feel nice doing this, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple to sort out. I think what I said to you, Luke, earlier about that cleaver that I'm going to sort out.
Yeah, it's great shape to that one. It's like this and it's about that sort of depth to it. It's like this.
Fuck yeah.
The blade.
Hell yeah.
I got it cheap. I got it on for a Facebook group, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy that. And it sat under my coffee table for about 2 years, and then I saw something that you posted, and I was like, do you want this? And,
periodically Dan's just messaging me like, do you want this one? I'm like, I can't afford it. I can't afford it.
What am I going to do with all that blade?
Yeah.
Where am I going to put it? But yeah, that's it. I enjoy doing it. I'd like to think I'm getting relatively good at doing it.
They look great.
It's quite fun. It's quite funny when like my old man comes in. It's technically his workshop in his garage, but he comes in and like pokes his head in, and he's like, "You're all right?" And I'm there like covered in dust with like a knife in my hand. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Can I have a cup of tea?" And he's like, "Okay, cool. All right. Tidy up after yourself, and it's all fine." But
you probably quite like utilising his space.
Yeah, I may as well use it. But I just, like I said, I just enjoy doing it. And it's nice to take something from like a block of wood to a really nice looking handle, and then I brought it back into work, and I was like, guys, look at this, look at it. And then one of I think the apprentice went to pick it up. I was like, no, you're not allowed to use it.
Yeah.
But you can't use it.
Look with your eyes.
Yeah, look with your eyes.
Not touchy. But yeah, I've got a steak knife that I want to redo, but I'm a bit apprehensive because it's one that I spent ages trying to get hold of. It's on it features on about 20 photos on my Instagram.
I was going to ask, is that the one that you've recently been showcasing? Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, on those tomahawks. But I got it's a running joke at the shop. I bought that through Etsy from a guy in America, and funny enough, having been watching Forged in Fire, I was like, oh, I could buy that, and bought it, and he was like, cool, yeah, I've sent it, no problem. A week went past, nothing. 2 weeks, nothing. 3 weeks, I thought, you did send it, didn't you? He's like, yeah. Here's the tracking, and followed it. And I was like, oh, cool. It says it's at Heathrow. It'll be here in a day or two. Another week went past, and it got
stuck at customs.
Yeah, pretty much. And he was like, oh, it should have gone through. And he was like, I've never had one get refused. I was like, maybe they've changed a few laws or something. And it sat there I ordered it April, and I got it November.
No way.
And basically, it got to Heathrow, and all they can put it down to is the geezer on the X-ray machine was having a bad day and sent it back. So it went all the way back to America, and the guy who was selling it, he was like, "Yeah, it's just turned up at my door," and I was like, "Okay, I still really want it. Can you send it back?" And he was like, "Well, I don't want it to come back." I was like, "I know, send it to the shop, because then they look at it, their X-ray, and they go, oh, it's going to a butcher's shop." So eventually that arrived, but I completely forgot about it. And then one of the guys came out the back. He goes, "Oh yeah, there's a package for you." And I was like, why is there a package for me? And I opened it up, and it was like the kid at Christmas opening the PlayStation. And I was like, it's
finally.
Yeah. And that now heavily features on my Instagram page. It's great, but it's a lovely knife. It's about like 70 odd years old, but it's solid as anything.
Yeah,
I don't let anyone else use it.
Yeah, it's all like carbon steel and stuff. It's great. Looks like it.
No, it's not carbon. It's definitely it's old metal, because when you run it over the sharpening wheel, it sparks.
Ooh,
So it's definitely got
that's cool.
something else. In it.
Yeehaw, baby.
Yeah. Cigar in one hand.
First time I did it, I was like, "Shit, what's that?" But
Oh.
yeah, that's a nice one. Banging, and yeah, it's a lovely knife.
I got one similar from Upbeat Vintage a few years ago that I just never touched because
Yeah,
it was so nice. I just had it in my knife box. And I was like, I know it's there. I'm
Yeah.
not going to use it, but I know it's there. I was like, shit.
I'll take it out on special days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Etsy's
he was
weird.
one of the first. Etsy's good for some stuff, and then other stuff is like, oh, here's this. And it's like, hang on, that looks like it's just come out of a container from China.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
And I'm not going to pay £100 for it. Funny enough,
Handmade
Upbeat Vintage
by children.
Handmade.
Oh.
Upbeat Vintage was one of the first guys that I followed on Instagram. And I think I saw one of his knives. I think you know Johnny Farrell's big steak knife that he's got. That's
With the
like
green
this
handle.
long. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that and I was like, oh, that's lovely. And I think it was literally the same day I followed him, Upbeat Vintage, and a few others, and I was just like, oh, that one's really nice. Oh, that one's really nice. And then I messaged him and I was like, how much for this one? And he's like, $400. I was like, don't worry, I was just looking.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I've probably all of us, we all have far too many knives, I think, which isn't a bad thing, but
No, don't tell yourself that. It's all lies.
it's all nice. It's all good.
Yeah.
Stack them
And
up.
you use one real beta burning knife all the time. You're like, I
All
don't
the
use my
time.
nice ones.
Yeah, I don't want to use my nice beaten up one.
Yeah.
This one's just for Instagram.
That happens.
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Was
When
it
I
a few
got
years
Lay it
ago?
on top and it all.
There was like the Silverthorn knives. Remember those? The really skinny boning knife ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of those that I bought, and it took a few months to arrive, and I don't use it because it's so nice.
This is definitely a
Are they,
showcase.
are they flexy or not? These ones.
Oh yeah, really
Do
flexy.
they flex
yeah.
at all?
They do, yeah, because the end tapers
really?
off so thin that I
It's
think
like
it's just
that much.
it's just the integrity of the metal just warps because that's full carbon steel. It's quite a heavy blade, but because it is just gets so narrow, it's got to have some give.
I would save that for fish.
Break it, I think.
Yeah.
Fish, yeah,
That it's so thin and it's got that flexibility. I'd be like, this is straight fish knife.
I did used to have it on the wall in one of the shops I was at, and one of the boys grabbed it off of the magnet, and I didn't notice. And in his head, he must have thought this is the perfect shape for boning out a neck of beef, right?
Oh
Nope.
no!
I was livid. I was inside.
Did you run over and just slap it out his hand?
I was
Stop
like,
it.
I slapped him.
that's a nice knife. And I was like, that's my fucking knife. You know, your neck gets hot because you get so fucking like rageful. I was like,
Yeah.
put the fucking knife down before I throw something at you.
Step away from the knife.
Yeah. He
Perfect.
did it again. And then it went back in the box forever. You know.
Here's an F-dick. Go do something else. Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go have some fun.
This is a knife. This is a nice shit knife. You have fun with those bones. Fuck off. It was,
You go on.
I was going to say he's quite tattooed up to the gills, which we're both really good fans of.
Oh yeah.
It's mainly just one arm. This one here.
Yeah.
I started on this arm and then I ran out of money.
Same with me.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But that was one of my first ones.
That's the one we want to talk
yeah.
about.
That was in. Well, can you guess who that was inspired by?
Butcher Bean.
No, it was very well. Very sadly, it was inspired by Jared Sandin, and he was one of the first that I followed.
Same.
And
Same.
I was like, and it was the whole thing of he wears cool hats, he's got cool tattoos, he's really good at what he does, and he was like definitely when I was an apprentice, he was one of my early inspirations.
It's fun, isn't it? How it's a universal sort of. He was one of the original Instagram.
He was the OG, wasn't he? Yeah.
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 I remember like seeing his stuff, and you're like, "Oh, I want to have a go at doing that." And there's I think it's probably one of his most liked ones, where he's holding up a Côte de Boeuf, sort of just like that, against white tiles,
Mhm.
And I was like, that's fantastic. And then I tried to recreate it, but it was with some really shitty beef. And I like held it up, and I think it was probably only like a week age. So it was like, I was like,
Sloppy.
hold it up. And there was like, then trying to lean it against the wall. And I ended up putting a fucking kebab skewer through it behind the bone to hold it up.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, this will work. And then like let go, and then forgot about the kebab skewer until I went to sell it to someone. I was like, pull it out. But yeah, he was definitely one of my early inspirations to do a better job in butchery, I think.
Yeah, I think to be held accountable in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when I saw that he passed away, I was genuinely like, I don't know. You just sort of went. I saw it through Instagram, and I was just like, "Shit, wait, what?" And
A lot of
ended
us-
up looking it up, and I saw
A lot of us were.
Yeah.
it was just like, where the fuck did that come from? And generally for like a day, I was a little bit lost as to like, shit, I can't believe like he used to reply to messages. Like I asked him a few questions, and he was always really helpful,
Yeah.
and like always happy just to like expand the knowledge of other people. And then I saw that, I was like, oh shit, like damn. And it makes you think a lot about, like you said, like mental health and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just
So
really
we all
sad.
we all really thought that. I think in a way we feel connected, not necessarily in the whole hashtag big butcher family, to quote some people.
Yeah.
But to we are butchers in the trade, managing shops, and the trials and tribulations, and you often think like of what headspace is someone in their life, in their shop. And I myself, much same as you, Dan, was just kind of a bit like, oh,
Yeah, it was a shock. Wasn't it?
that it can be that's it, that quick. How
Yeah,
it can alter your view of it. And I think it brought a lot of people closer online.
It also drew a wedge at one stage as well, but I think they all fucking grew up and got over it. But then,
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
but it was like the most unexpected death, I would say, in our industry, and especially from who it was. And you were just like, we were just all gobsmacked, and then we got an episode out pretty quick just to cover it, just to say, because Luke and I were always talking about mental health. We're always like, whenever they're in a shit mood, whatever is going on, we could reach out to each other and say, whatever. But we were quick to jump on that and say, you guys aren't alone. We're here to help.
Yeah.
Everyone's here, man.
Good.
And the mental health, like you said, you don't know if anyone's who's having a bad day in the shop, managing outside, inside of work. It doesn't matter. But, the community's gotten tighter. I feel like it's gotten a lot tighter, and it's gotten like, there's so much love and support there. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
like it's so great to have just that support, and they're like guys geeing you up, going, "Oh mate, yeah, you're doing a fucking fantastic job like that. That's brilliant, mate." Like,
yeah.
It's a pat on the back from someone who you may have never met or you may have never interacted with, but when someone goes, "Oh mate, I'm like, that's banging," like it just cheers you up, and
just have their knowledge on tap. As you say, you just message someone, and you can be like, "How did you do this?" And more often than not, they are going to say like this, rather than saying "fuck you."
Like you've got it on tap, and everyone just wants to share to spread. There's no more like, "Oh no, it's a secret, I can't tell you."
There's no more gatekeepers.
There's no like, "Oh, this is our secret sausage recipe, I can't possibly tell you."
It's for the greater good. Everyone, let's go. Butchery is the winner at the end of the day, as we've said many times. Help out everybody. That's cool.
Everyone love everyone, all right?
We're all friends.
For a hug in the shower. Alrighty, Dan. So now we're going to move into the next segment, being the guest questions. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Cool. Top of the list is what's on your bucket list?
Always wanted to swim with sharks.
Oh,
nice.
Cage or no cage?
Depends on the shark. Great big fuck off, great white. Stay in a cage. I watched the Meg the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm staying in a cage." And then probably little like reef tip sharks, something like that. Fine to sort of scuba dive around them. If it can't fit my hand in its mouth, that's fine. I'll free dive with that. But anything bigger than that, I'll go in the cage. That's definitely on the list.
Says the man who worked with lions and wolves.
Yeah. They're a lot smaller and fluffy. And, like that. And probably the other one is go see wild killer whales. Like, always kind of wanted to do that.
What, like the Arctic kind of expeditions?
Just killer whales in general, whether it's nice Canadian ones or ones in Gibraltar that sink boats. I think they're pretty awesome.
I was going to say none of them are.
That one's coming towards us. Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. He's Canadian.
Hey guys,
just going to sink your boat, eh?
It squeaks with a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
It's got a little flag.
That's cool.
That's probably 2 bucket list items there. Definitely.
That's brilliant.
Very cool.
You do realize, like, you got great hammerhead sharks, which their mouths are like half the size of your hand. So they're also great to swim with. Same with the scallop-headed tiger shark. They're quite good because they're quite small. But then you got your regular tiger shark, and those go as wide as your head. So choice is yours. But they're just big.
Ant was an instructor on the Great Barrier Reef, scuba diving, if you must know.
Oh yeah.
Man knows the sharks quite good.
Man knows the sharks.
Me and the David Attenborough spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
Me and the bro.
Besties.
Yeah. Oh man, could you imagine? Just got to call up my mate Dave. Tell me about plants.
He's like, again, Ant? Hello.
Have you been eating mushrooms?
Very good.
Right, number 2. 3 people to invite to dinner, dead or alive, and why?
We put so much thought into this at work recently. Remember we've been listening, and the list it's not so much 3 people, it's like a whole banquet. I'm gonna get like keep putting chairs out because you keep thinking of new people.
Nice.
Dave Grohl.
Banger. Dave Grohl.
Just because he's just an awesome bloke, and I reckon he'd be quality to have. Just
he can cook.
But he can turn up with his massive smoker and just do all of that. And he's just an all-round nice bloke. Like, just quality geezer to have. We tossed up between Ian McKellen.
Oh.
Because I think he'd be quite interesting to have at a dinner party.
Yeah.
Pretty smart geezer. And also Christopher Lee.
Wow.
Because he's literally the key. Christopher Lee's just, well, he's dead now, but he's done everything. Like, obviously, I'm quite a bit of a Lord of the Rings fan. So he's awesome in that. And like, if you ever look into like his exploits when he was younger, he's a direct descendant of Charlemagne. He was in a heavy metal rock band, fencing champion, and like, have you seen the new Guy Ritchie film, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Conduct?
No, yeah.
That's basically Christopher Lee.
They said they had to phone him up, didn't they? And get
they phoned him up to ask him stuff, and he's like, he's like Nazi hunter extraordinaire. There's this quality clip. It's knocking around YouTube. It's a moment between him and Peter Jackson when they're filming Lord of the Rings, and like Peter Jackson's like, right, you're gonna get stabbed, and I want you to be like, ah, and Christopher Lee just turns to him and he's like, have you ever heard the sound of a man being stabbed? I have. And it's just like some vague reference to stuff that happened in World War II, and he's like, he's
pretty badass, isn't he?
You go with what you think is right.
Okay, well, I'll go with Christopher Lee, and then I think probably, mate, so many. I quite like a bit of a guilty pleasure. I'd have Meryl Streep.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Helpful.
Secret favorite film, Devil Wears Prada, and it's just like, she's quality.
I think they're making a sequel now.
Yeah, she's just there with like a glass of wine, just like absolutely ripping into someone, and it's like, yeah, cool, I'm down for that. And she's just like awesome.
There we go. Brilliant.
That was a curveball, and I loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
So good.
Christopher Lee, what a banger.
Yeah, look into his exploits. It's just he's a quality geezer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Did you know in Star Wars, they made his lightsaber curved because that's the fighting style he knew.
Yeah, it was a dueling thing. He designed it himself.
Yeah,
that's cool.
George Lucas was like, "We don't do that," and he was like, "Well, I'm not going to be in.
I'm Christopher Lee. I can do what I want."
Yeah, fuck your movie.
Because I'm creating my own fighting style in Star Wars. He was like, "Okay,
this is my movie now."
Yeah. That's a great mix. I'd love to be that at that dinner table. Meryl Streep, steak. Premium match steak.
Move at a more glacial pace. Go on.
Right. Next question. Where do you see future of butchery going?
I see it going forward in a way that bringing more young people into it. Like, there's definitely been a resurgence in butchery in the last sort of 10, 15 years where, like we said, like people like Jared Standing sort of making butchery cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it used to be guys behind a counter in a white coat and a pork pie hat. Oh, what do you want? Well, it's this, that. But like now, like we said before earlier, like people are more interested in food.
Yeah.
We have to pass that on to them.
Yeah.
So that we can expand and grow as a business. And we have to sort of grow as well in a way of like modernizing, you know, sort of the days of three trays for a tenner overwrapped on a table is sort of behind us, and going forward, you know, just better quality stuff really, not get, you know, people used to see butchers as bandits and, you know, bulking out the mince to make it redder with ox heart and all that kind of stuff. Like, you can't get away with that stuff now, and it's not really cricket. And like, you still get people come in and they're unsure because they've been stung by an old butcher before of being sold something and it's not what he said it was. But like going forward, I see a good future in butchery, particularly for younger people getting into it. And it's like butchers are becoming sort of, well, cool. You know,
Look at us.
Yeah. We're flying.
It's a cool job to do. Like, you go to places and people go, "Oh, what do you do?" It's like, "Oh, I'm a lawyer, I'm this and that." "Oh, I'm a butcher." And you're all suddenly like, they're like, "Oh my God, really? Like, what's this? What's," you know, and they start asking you questions and suddenly you're like the most interesting person on the table. And people are moving forward with us, which is what we need.
Starting to get that belief back in the system.
Yeah. Like, it's going forward, which is in the right direction.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. I like that.
Me too.
Positive outlook.
Positive.
Yeah. Right. Next question. Death Row Meal. Starter, main, dessert, and what you drinking?
Starter, I think I'd have to go with a really nice baked camembert with like a fresh focaccia loaf for dipping.
Nice.
Main course.
Huge fan of focaccia. Huge fan.
That's great. Main course.
Could have said something.
It changes like weekly. Definitely pork related. It's somewhere between slow roast pork belly with all the trimmings, roasty, sweet, you know, the apple sauce, the whole lot, or really nice pork ribs. Like, you know, when you eat a pork rib and it all pulls off the bone comes out nice and clean, and you just eat on your happy place. Just like a big rack of those, and again with like all the, you know, sweet potato, everything with it. So one of those two or both. Fuck it, it's my death row. I can have both.
Both. Yeah,
we can do that.
We can do that. I'm dying. It's fine. And then dessert. It's got to be banoffee pie.
Ooh.
So, like, I will do bad things for banoffee pie. Not guilty. Not ashamed of it
the best. It's literally god tier food.
Yeah.
I've been paid in banoffee pie once. A friend of mine, his mum called me up and she's like, "Can you get me some topside?" I was like, "Yep, sure, no problem." Paid for it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's this much?" And she went, "What if I make you a banoffee pie?" And I was like, "Yep, fine with that." Yeah,
that's fine.
And I went back about a week later, and this banoffee pie was like the size of a hubcap. It was huge, and unashamedly, I took about a week to eat it, but it was so good.
A week? That's really
it gets better. They mature.
Yeah. And then to drink, probably a really nice pint of cold Guinness.
That's killer.
Just there. Yeah, banging.
That's killer. I love that.
Yeah.
You ever say one of the best ones?
You just like that because it has pork and banoffee pie.
Yeah, pork belly and banoffee pie is absolute fucking winner. And then I'm going to pour that Guinness all over myself as well afterwards. If you hadn't finished it.
Let me finish the voya.
Yeah, that would be my defro meal.
Oh yeah,
I'd be
That's
very
sick.
happy with that.
That's brilliant.
Sorry, the spaniel's just jumped up. Hang on.
Where's the spaniel? Oh, hello, spaniel. Oh,
nice, kitty.
Making an appearance.
yeah.
Cool.
Right, last question is a pretty serious question, mate. Are aliens real?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sweet, we got another.
Yeah, there's got to be something out there. The world, well, the universe is too big for there not to be something.
Yeah.
It's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger constantly.
The infinite is expanding somehow. It doesn't make any sense.
Ask Neil deGrasse Tyson; he knows all about it. Yeah, there's definitely something out there. I quite often get the feeling, normally when I'm scrolling through Instagram, that like aliens have turned up, they've connected to the Wi-Fi, looked around the internet, and gone, "Nah, we're just gonna carry on.
We'll give it another 1,000 years."
Yeah, we'll come back
housing history.
That blows up. Yeah, I reckon that they've just looked at it and gone, "Nah, maybe not."
I think it could be under something. They're probably just observing from a while, and then they have connected to the Wi-Fi and like, memes? What are these memes?
Yeah.
They also sound British.
Yeah. That's so good.
Oh,
Dan, thank you so much, mate. We really
problem.
appreciate
Thanks for having me,
this. Appreciate your time. If
Thank you.
you want to take this moment to plug and promote yourself, where can people find you?
So I'm at the Guildford Butchery in Merrow 5 days a week, Tuesday till Saturday. You might occasionally find me out at our Dorking's shop, and when it up and opens, I might do the odd bit over at the Horsham shop. Pop in, say hello, follow me on Instagram, adami.craftbutcher. I haven't posted anything for ages on my actual feed, but I'll get around to it at some point. You see the odd story here and there. Yeah, I'll put something on there soon. Yeah,
Easy man.
Give it a follow. Give Dorking Butchery, Guildford Butchery, Horsham Butchery a follow on Instagram as well. Yeah. Keep on cutting.
Keep on cutting.
Keep on cutting. Yeah, but
good. Dan, thank you, mate. Really,
no problem.
really
Thanks for having me, guys.
All good.
Cool.
Thank you to everyone who's watching, listening. Don't forget, get your butts, boobs, and balls checked, and we will see you on the Monday episode with a recap of Smoke and Fire. Stay tuned, everyone. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.